Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Trust you had a great day and a nice week. So, we are going to be starting our session, our webinar for today, titled How to Identify Your First Export Market as a Nigerian Business. Last week, we had a webinar where we spoke about steps into starting steps that you need to know to start your export business in Nigeria. But today we'll be looking at how to identify your first export market as a Nigerian business. If you can hear me loud and clear, just put it in the comment section that you can hear me. Okay, that you can hear me clearly. I need to know that I'm talking to people and you can hear me. So we'll be talking about how to identify your first export market as a Nigerian business. So what are the things that you need to know to select or to choose your export market, the market that you want to target, that you want to be exporting to? So we do receive messages in our direct we do receive direct messages, from time to time, explaining or asking us about how to penetrate some markets, how to get into some markets. Some people who maybe they are producing fashion products, some food products, some agro commodities or minerals, and they need direction into how to break into some markets. So how do you even go about choosing these markets in the first place? How do you go about choosing these markets in the first place? So this is what we are going to be looking into in this session. Okay, that's what we are going to be looking into in this session: how to identify your export market from Nigeria, from whichever state, whichever location that you are in Nigeria. You could be in southwest, you could be in the north, you could be in southeast. So the location doesn't really matter. What really matter though, what your location influences, is the product that you want to export. So the commodity or the products that you are looking at to package for export or to produce for export can be location dependent, as a raw material that you need to get from somewhere. So location can actually influence that, but your location does not influence the market that you select. So, and that's why we are going to be talking about that today, looking into the different aspects of what you need to know, or what you are supposed to know, to actually select a good market for your business or for your product or commodity. So we are going to be looking into what the key factors in choosing an export market. What are the key factors that you need to know, or that you need to research, or that you need to work on? The first thing is demand. So the first thing is demand. Is there a market for your product? Is there a market for your product? So the I don't know what you have in mind, so you can actually let us know. You can put it in the comment section, the product or the commodity that you are actually looking at, to export. So what products are you looking at? Is it something? Is it a finished product? Is it a raw material? Is it semi-processed product? Is it something that is maybe livestock, meat, fish, or is it a food product? Is it something you produced or you manufactured yourself for export? So you want to look at that product. Is there a demand for it out there? One of the ways in which if there is a demand for your product out there is to also see that there is a demand for it even right here in Nigeria, in the country. Okay, so after looking at, okay, there is a demand for that product, you want to look at accessibility to the product, okay, the logistics, the shipping cost, the proximity, and all that. So how accessible is that product? Okay, how accessible is the market where you want to ship to, where you want to export to? How accessible is the place? Is it close? Is it far? When you want to ship an item or your product to the United Kingdom, for instance, is different from if you want to ship the same product to China, or you want to ship the same product to Vietnam or South Korea or Japan or the Middle East. So this takes different logistics processes that you need to do your research on. So you want to check logistics, you want to check into the shipping cost and proximity, how far or how close it is to Nigeria, to our borders, to our shipping ports rather in Nigeria. So regulations, you want to look at regulations now that we have these bouts of regulation, tariff wars going around between different countries. So you want to know what tariff you have for that country, what tariff that country has for Nigeria, so that you don't pay extra or you don't pay too much tax by the time the container gets to the importer's country, gets to the country where it is going to. So that is really very important. So you want to look at the tariffs, the bans, and phytosanitary rules. The bans are actually really important because sometimes you can have a country place a ban on a particular product that you don't even know about, and sometimes you would have even make your shipment and the consignment or the container is actually on the way, and before it gets there, there is an announcement to ban such products from entering into the country. So sometimes, even while you are loading your shipment, while you are putting your consignment together, you want to research, you want to ask questions from your agent in that country or in that market, or from your buyer in that your prospective buyer, or the buyer you are already in a contract with in that country, to know if that product or commodity will get into the country or not. And you also have phytosanitary rules, for different commodities that move or leave the shores of Nigeria. You need to get phytosanitary certificate for them. So these are different kind of regulations that you need to understand, so that whatever you are doing, you are in good compliance, you are in good standing with the customs over there, or with whatever regulations that will make the importer or the buyer who is buying from you, that will make him or her to easily clear the container over there. This is really important. Then you look at competition. Who else is supplying that market? Okay, who else is supplying that market? So there are three ways to look at such competition, and I'm going to break it down in this webinar. So one is, who else is supplying that market from where you are, from Nigeria. So for people supplying or shipping foodstuffs, for instance, to the United Kingdom or to Australia or to different countries, you'll see that already there are Nigerian foodstuffs in this environment. There are Nigerian foodstuffs in this country. So who is supplying them? Who is already shipping to those countries? Who has customers there already? So who are your competitors from your environment, from here in Nigeria? The second way to look at it is, who are your competitors even in the market that you are looking at, in the market that you are targeting? So don't be surprised that whatever you want to market or whatever you want to start exporting from here, there are some competitors in that market you are looking at also who are supplying the same. I mean, they are bringing it out from other countries and bringing it into that country to also supply that same market that you are looking at. So probably they are foreigners or they are citizens of that country. Now, the third way to look at that competition is there are foreigners right here in Nigeria doing that same business you want to do. So when you look at that, they have the capital, they have the connection, they have the network, and they are doing fine with the business. So that's another way to look at that. So you want to analyze and break down your competition in that way. Then you look at profitability. Uh, price margins, the exchange rate, the current exchange rates, and payment systems. Why is this important? This is really important because you want to be sure that whatever you are doing with that country, you are getting paid and you are making good profit. Okay, without good profit, you can't sustain the business. So you are not running a charity. You want to make sure that whatever you are doing, you want to make sure that you are earning from it. Okay, you are earning good money from it. All right. So, and another thing you want to look at is the ease of entry into that country. How easy it is to enter into that country. Are this country that you are looking at, are they African countries? Are they countries in Europe? Are they countries in... So you need to look into that. If it's an African country, you want to consider the trade agreement between Nigeria and them, such as the ECOWAS, the AFTA, and others. And if it's a country in Europe, you want to check into trade relationship that Nigeria as a country has with them. You want to check the Nigeria and the country's chamber of commerce. You want to do your research, ask questions. And another way to check into the ease of entry is to also talk. You can talk to your freight forwarder, you can talk to your shipping agent, you can meet up with other active exporters in that market and ask questions. That's even a good way to go with that. All right, so we'll look at step-by-step guide to identifying your first market. Step-by-step guide to identifying your first market. So as we are going along in the webinar, don't forget to like and follow our page. You can also share the webinar with your friends. You can share the links with your family, those you know that need this webinar to learn more about exporting business in Nigeria. Okay, and you can sign up for any of our courses or programs. All right, so we'll be looking into step-by-step guides to identifying your first market. And don't forget, if you have any question or issues, you can also put it in the comment section and we'll help you with that. We'll give you a good answer. So step one is identify your exportable product. So the first thing you want to do to become a good exporter is to first identify an exportable product. Okay, so look into your environment, look inward, look into your market, look around you. There is always something that you can lay your hands on to export. All right, like I said at the beginning of the class, that your products or the products that you want to export is usually location dependent. Okay, so it might be for you, so just look around and you can identify an exportable product. So list your available agricultural products, manufactured products, ensure that it meets quality standard. Okay, so you want to ensure that it meets quality standards. So you can just select two, like cashew nuts and sesame seeds, for example. You can just select shea butter and cocoa butter, and you walk along with those commodities. Step two is to research potential markets. So you want to now research potential markets based on the products that you already selected. Based on the products you already selected, you can use that to now search for markets that will be interested. Let me say potential market that will be interested in that product or in that commodity. All right, so use trade portals like the international trade centers, TradeMap. You can use trademap.org, UNCOM trade platform. Study import statistics, which country are buying more of your products, of what you want to sell. Okay, that's really important. Step 3 is to shortlist promising countries. So after doing your research, after checking, listing out all the countries that where there are manufacturers or producers that use your product or your exportable products as whether a feedstock or raw materials or whatever it is, but they are making use of it. After listing them, you shortlist the ones are really promising that you can really break into. So look at 3 to 5 countries with high demand, manageable logistics, and good payment systems. Okay, that you want to make sure that after you've done your shipment, you can get your payment easily. There is no technology inavailability, or maybe there is a civil war going on, or there is maybe unrest, a civil unrest. So you don't want to select countries as such. You want something that the system will really be smooth for you to get your payment fast. Then step 4 is study market requirements. Okay, check tariffs, the World Trade Organization tariff database, check the standards and certifications, the cultural preference, really important, really important. The cultural preference, and when you are talking about product form, is it an Islamic country? Really important, the kind of product you want to ship to an Islamic based country. So these are just some of the cultural preferences that you need to put into place while putting together your consignment or your product for exporting. Step 5 is to validate with buyer research. Use online directories to search. How do you do that? You use these directories to search for prospective buyers for your exportable product, for your products or your commodities. So connect via Nigerian embassies, chambers of commerce, attend trade fairs and virtual business to business events. Really important. And step 6 is select and test. So you start with one market and one product. I even said like 2 commodities is good enough. Send samples to test. Acceptance, so you want to send your samples and all that to your prospective buyers. Negotiate your terms carefully and select your Incoterms also carefully. One thing you want to do here also is that when you select that market or your product, try as much as possible to do some qualitative assurance test for your commodity right here before sending your samples to your prospective buyer, so that when you are sending that sample product to your prospective buyer, it's also attached with those qualitative assurance certificates that shows that what you want to ship to them is of standard. Okay, that's really important. Then we'll look at some examples of products or some things that some exporters that we have trained or that we have worked with have done. So for instance, cashew nuts. If you are looking to export cashew nuts, one of the places you really want to look into for top buyers of cashew nuts is India, Vietnam, and the United Arab Emirates. You can also look at for sesame seeds. Top buyers Japan, China, Turkey. Okay, so for shea butter, because it's a raw material that is really used in cosmetics, just target European countries. All right, and when we are looking at into yam and other foodstuffs, you want to look at countries that have high concentrations of Nigerians. or West African citizens, okay, or let me just say Africans as a whole. So you want to look at countries that have such high concentrations, where you will see African stores and the rest, where your products or your commodity is really going to sell. Okay, so for today, we've looked into identifying your product, that is the exportable product that you want to export, researching the demand in your prospective markets, in the markets that you are looking to select from, then shortlisting this market after doing your research, after different consideration, then you study the requirement, what is needed, so you can even get some prospective buyers to talk to even before you have a valid contract with them. And with this, you will have a good knowledge of the kind of specification that they need from you, the kind of specification for the commodity, the specified type of product, how to pack it, what is going to taste like, what is going to look like, what its size going to be like. So all these things need to be documented. Then you have to start. We're encouraging you to start with one product and one market, from start, while you are starting, and share your resources with the Nigeria Export Promotion Council. So you want to check the NEPC website, the International Trade Center, Trade Map, and export training programs. Like here at Lagos School of Export Management, you can attend any of our programs. We have several programs. We have the diploma programs, we have certificate programs that you can sign up for, we have mentorship program that you can also register for, and to take your export business to the next level. So don't try to export everywhere at once. You just need to select one or two export markets that you can access. Start with one commodity and you scale. All right, so for today's webinar, I'll be recommending the export mentorship program for everyone. So if you really want to go far, it's good you sign up for this kind of mentorship program. It's 3 months, and you can be sure that by the end of it, you will be an expert in the business of exporting. So thank you very much. We've come to the end of today's webinar. Please make sure to put your questions in the comment section. Do not forget to share this webinar, this link, to your friends and family that really need it. Okay, and we expect to hear from you before our next class next week. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.